Hi everyone, thanks for joining me here today on Fab Foundry. We have a video dedicated to Dorinthea, Quicksilver Prodigy, for this Skirmish Season 6. Follow me while I show you why I think Dorinthea Quicksilver Prodigy is the best deck to take on your Blitz skirmishes this season, why, the data behind it, and just why I think it's the best deck. So yeah, join me. Let's go. So here is the Dorinthea Quicksilver Prodigy deck. As you can see out here, our normal choices of equipment are pretty normal here. We have Brave Forge Bracers, Courage of Blade Hold, Crown of Providence, and Valiant Dynamo. I have found that this Dorinthea Quicksilver Prodigy is just a better Kasai at the moment because we have the ability, our Dawnblade here is just Centauri Sabers, that the second attack is always 3, where the second one is trying to be greater than 2 for Kasai. And then with Dorinthea, we also have the ability of just packing in her incredibly powerful attack, or her incredibly powerful specializations, with Steel Blade Supremacy right here. Until end of turn, target weapon gets +2, and whenever this hits, draw a card. So if you attack with both swings in a turn, this card is +4 with a double chance to draw cards. Our Glistening Steel Blade gives us Go Again, which also impacts our first ability that allows our Dawnblade to swing a second time, and every time it hits, gives it a permanent +1 counter. It is permanent because there is nothing on the cards themselves that take those counters off. So Glistening Steel Blade is incredibly powerful in this version of Dorinthea. And then we also have Singing Steel Blade. This card is just like the all-over... in my opinion, I think this could be the best Dorinthea specialization. It's because it gives it that +1, which is normally enough to just push that little bit extra over. If they're blocking the cards from hand, most of the time they block up +3. This can get you to +4. It can get you Go Again. It can get you Twinning Blade. Singing Steel Blade, all in all, is just an amazing card. And if Kasai had something like this, I might be sitting here arguing that Kasai is the better Dory. So a lot of stuff with this list, I think, actually can be used in all warriors. I just believe that Dorinthea Quicksilver Prodigy is the best warrior. And let's take a quick look at her ability really quick. The first time, Dawnblade Resplendent, her signature weapon, gains Go Again each turn. You may attack with it an additional time. And then on the Dawnblade itself, when the second time you attack with Dawnblade each turn, it gains +1. So you are very incentivized as the aggressor to always be swinging Dawnblade twice. And now this is what I have come to find with this strategy. Valiant Dynamo puts in work. All you ever need is 2 cards. You need a blue and a Go Again card. So that can be a Hit and Run, a Spoils of War, your Glistening, a Run Through, Glint the Quicksilver, Precision Press, Blade Flash. You have so many options in this. And your ability to normally net a Go Again card every cycle is almost set like at a 1-to-1. So a lot of how you're going to be approaching these turn cycles is you want to get the most that you can get. So if you are able to pocket a card in your arsenal, right, and you draw up 4 cards, so you have 5 cards going to your next turn cycle, and you only need 2 of them, well, you essentially can block for 9. And then on that crackback turn, where you're going to be swinging 2, then 3, and then refunding your Dynamo, well, you're ultimately netting 6 total points or numbers throughout that. So if you're blocking 9 on a defensive turn and attacking for 6, each of these cycles we're dealing 15 points of either damage or defenses. But the number is almost irrelevant over the course of many cycles here. And so what we are setting up to do is have a 1 big swingy turn or have early setups of huge value. And how we're going to do huge early value setups is off our Dawnblade here and off Glistening Steel Blade. Once we're able to build 1 counter on this, and honestly, all you ever want to go for is 1 counter. If you can get 2, if you can get 3, awesome. That's amazing. You're chugging along. You get 1 counter. This deck has now been so oiled and greased up that you are dealing an extra 2 damage every turn cycle, and you're still playing out the same strategy we have of block 9, swing 6. Well, now it's block 9, swing 8. Block 9, swing 8. And you're just continuing this trudge going through. And it's Blitz. It's like you can't keep this up forever, but they have just as big of a deck as you, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the thing that makes this deck the most fun, honestly, is this card right here, Gore, Belching. This card was given to us in Outsiders. It is a majestic generic action. For anyone who's been playing around with Dorinthea or seen Dorinthea decks in the past, you'll know that Dorinthea is not a very attack action oriented deck. There are some versions that maybe run E-Strikes and CNCs and Scar for Scars, but those are few and far between as this game has progressed. And in Blitz, a lot of what we've seen prior to this is a Nourishing Emptiness in lieu of Gore Belching, since Gore Belching just came out. Now, Nourishing Emptiness was amazing because it played off your natural ability or your natural want to not have any non-attack actions or attack actions in your deck. So you have this 2 for 6 that gets Dominate naturally. Is going to net you an Intellect if it hits. It's an amazing card, but has so much buildup to how we want to be playing that card, if that makes sense. So what Gore Belching allows us to do with its 0 cost and its 7 damage, we are able to string along turns that very, very easily can end on us with Gore Belching and having swung twice. So with that, we're able to maybe throw down a couple power-up cards for our sword, maybe swing 7, end on a Gore Belching for 7. Our turns with Gore Belching can hit upwards of 21 damage. And a 21 damage swing in Blitz is huge, especially when that's tagged on to potentially drawing cards off go again, attacking multiple times, refunding defenses, and then ultimately ending on just a 7 damage attack. And so the Gore Belching's been up here for a minute now. You've probably read it, and you're wondering, like, well, if you don't run attack actions, well, how does this Gore Belching actually work? Because you need an attack action to get you there, right? And you are correct in that. That is why we have a 1 of Rouse the Ancients. This card pretty much serves every function we need a blue to serve. Before, in my Nourishing Emptiness list, this Rouse the Ancients was a 2nd blue Blade Flash, just another thing to give go again. It was a blue pitch, blocked for 2. It was a pretty easy trade out because Blade Flash is usually a card that I only ever pitch. I don't know, when we go to our statistics, I'll show you all that. So it was an easy trade out for the Blade Flash. Losing go again ultimately does suck, but I haven't noticed any real issue over the course of this game. Then, yeah, the Rouse this whole combo has been insane. So let me walk you through something like this. We have a 4-card hand, or we have Gore Belching, or one of these cards I'm about to name in Arsenal that's not our pitch card. We steal Blade Supremacy, so we throw that on the field. So that's 1 resource. We pitch to blue, 2 floating. We swing with our Dawn Blade, so we're coming in for 4. They attempt to block, yada yada. They don't want to draw a card. We glint the Quicksilver. We draw a card anyway. The other card we had in our hand was a red hit and run. So we play that red hit and run. Our weapon now gets +3. It gains go again, comes in for 8. So now we have dealt 12 damage this turn, threatening a card draw again on the 2nd attack. And then once they've decided whether or not they want to block that, then boom, we just send out the Gore Belching. If you're playing on Talishar, the cards will reveal themselves automatically. And then you just came in for 7 for nothing. You probably don't have any resources left floating. If you had a Nourishing in this instant, you probably wouldn't even be able to play it. It's just, it fits everything. It makes it so you don't need to have a huge Courage of Bladehold swingy turn, because a lot of the time with Nourishing Emptiness, it would revolve around our Courage of Bladehold, because ultimately this would give us, it makes our first swing free and makes our second swing free. ultimately freeing up 2 resources on our turn. So those would usually be the resources we would use to then power the Nourishing Emptiness. But a lot of the times, it wouldn't line up. Like, yeah, we could do that. You get the Nourishing Emptiness, like, oh, I can do this with courage, but we won't have the Steelblade Supremacy. We won't have the Glistening Steelblade. We won't have the things in our hand that are going to make our opponent super sweaty on the other side and be like, oh man, what do they got? Is card draw bad for them? Do they have the Nourishing in hand? Like, Gore Belching just leaves you open. It is sad. Okay, honestly, there's 2 drawbacks. There are 2, I don't want to call them massive, because massive, to me, feels like it impacts the game plan to a negative, but there are 2 big parts that are bad about Gore Belching. First off, it's on the card, doesn't block, can't block. That in itself sucks. Sometimes, though, when it, like, if this was like integral and we got pulse waved, it's kind of good right here that it can't block. You know, at least we get to keep it. And then the other thing is it fully does not work if our Rouse the Ancients is in the graveyard or in our hand. So anytime you see Rouse the Ancients, you need to make sure you get this thing out of your hand. Hope to God you don't have a Gore Belching in your hand too, or an Arsenal. We never Arsenal this card unless we have Crown of Providence up and we know we need to get rid of it. And we know we're going to be attacked next turn, so we can bottom this. That is the only instant. I also highly advise not doing that. But hey, there we go. Now let's get into the rest of the deck and why this thing is so freaking good now that we've gotten past me fawning over it. So, as we said before, the biggest thing you want to be doing with Dory here is the 2-3-1 and then block 9. So, you're swinging 2, you're swinging 3, you're refunding 1 on your Dynamo, and you're potentially blocking 6 to 9 on your crackback turn, which is allowing you to sneak in these little bits of damage. I do think it's both a plus and a negative for the Dawnblade Resplendent to swing in for 2. It's a plus on the first hand because it lowers its danger. So a lot of the time I want to connect the 2, especially on like a glistening turn. Especially if I have like a run through and I'm just going to like pump it up for more. But it does suck with like Glint the Quicksilver, wanting to draw a card off a first go again. I notice more often than not, the first swing usually does not get blocked. So a lot of power goes into, or a lot of energy goes into what we have right here between Dawnblade and Dorinthea. So there's a lot of go again. Like, just to count it out, we have 6 hit and runs, full rainbow, 2 red, 2 yellow, 2 blue. We have our run throughs, 2 yellow here. Glistening Steel Blades, rounding out 10 sources of go again there. Our Spoils of War for 12. Singing Steelblade, I know we have 2 here. I like to consider these 1 because more often than not, if I see both of these in a game, one of them is usually going towards getting me go again. Even though I know, like, if I'm going to count the glints right here as 2, I can't really count singing as 1 because it uses one of the glints or one of the run-throughs to get the go again. But chalking it up in my head as to this actually being a source of go again has kind of helped the math. And honestly, it's like, once you see the data, you'll see what I mean. So I like to think of it like as like 1 here. So 13 with the singings, 14 with Blade Flash, 16 with the glints, and 18 with Precision Press. This used to be 19 when I was running the Nourishing list. So this Rouse the Ancients was just another Blade Flash. I mean, at that point, you have, 50% of your deck is go again. So the likelihood you draw 1 source of go again on 4 cards is almost 100%. I think it's like 90. I think it's like 89 or 92% that like I'm always getting a card with go again. And then if not, you do have the fallback to where if this card I'm not or if this card or these hands I'm drawing, I don't have go again. Well, a lot of the time you'll have like a route, or you'll have like a puncture, or you'll have this ability to swing too and then turn it into more damage. So you do have a lot of power in that, and just like, yeah, the trickiness of your deck. Going down here, here's our sideboard for everything, for our equipment and everything. Skull Cap, not really any need. It's just in there to fill space. Same with Tunic. Our Null Rune here is, for our wizards, for our Icelanders. They're honestly the biggest problem for Warrior, just because of how you have to play your cards. Like, yeah, you get this great spread. There's lots of blues, there's lots of yellows, but every one of these cards need to be played, and most of them have a cost. So, yeah, you do have a lot of blues, but like, just to even like not do more than 2 damage, I need to play my spoils, and I need to swing my weapon. And now I pitched a blue, used 2 resources, and I'm still only putting 4 on the field. And I've already used 2 cards. Kano's probably sitting there like, are those blues in their hand? Should I pop off this turn? And that's actually a really good reason why cards like Sigil of Solace are so good. As we see Azuris and a lot more things coming into these formats that try to target our arsenal, anything we can have in that is just a kind of a hedge into things that want to target our arsenal. So Sigil of Solace goes in arsenal. It's just like, oh, you're trying to destroy with the CNC or leave no witness? Well, boom, I'll gain 3 life, and it'll probably be like a net neutral on the damage dealt. This is also a great card into Wizard. If you're able to gain 3 life turn 1, or you're able to pocket this, and they're trying to do their big pop-off turn, they see you're down to like your last card, or you have no pitch left, and they're just like, well, we're going to win. Good GG. They're like sending GG in the chat, and you're just like gain 3. And you still have like 6 damage coming at them, and they're at 2. Yeah, feels good. Feels good. So like I said before, I do feel like this deck is just a better Kasai. And you can see a lot of the Kasai shell in this deck. The only things you're not seeing are Outland Skirmish, her specialization, and Blade Runners. There's no Blade Runners in here because it only targets one-handed weapons, and our Dawnblade here is a 2-handed weapon. The specialization, we don't really build copper, and it is a specialization. We do have Spoils of War here. And then Outland Skirmish. Outland Skirmish also only targets a one-handed weapon. And we also have no sharpened steels here, so I don't believe with how I've constructed this that would go, would have a place anyway, even with the addition of it being a better sharpened steel. So I'm just going to go down the list here and just give you a quick summary of the card. Gore Belching, amazing. This card is everything this deck needs. It's a 7 for a 0. If you still need to block with everything, it's in your arsenal. You block 12, send 7. You won that cycle for sure. Hit and runs, these cost 0. They allow us to swing our Dawnblade twice with Courage if this is the only card we have. So we can still ultimately net 6 on a cycle and block upwards of 12 if this is in our arsenal. So that's why it's in all colors. It's the progenitor to Gore Belching. I think I used that word wrong, but this card is usually the card that will allow us to then Gore Belching as a 3rd attack. In the swing, this card's amazing. People don't think about it at all. Yes, it's the 2nd attack, but like I said, this deck is so like Kasai, you're going to be 2nd attacking every cycle. So having something like this, you can grab with a Singing Steel Blade. You can just pocket for like a Glistening Steel Blade turn where they're not expecting it. In the swing is an amazing card. I've often thought about bringing in 2, but I think 1 is the way to be. Iron Song response, arguably the best, not the best common reaction Warrior could potentially ever have. It's all based off Reprise, but it's 3 for 0 or 1 for 0 in blue pitch. They block 3. It's incredible. Puncture, this card replaced Out for Blood for me because Out for Blood was
Alpha Blade gets a lot of its power when they block the first attack, which I also said in this video, they tend to not do very much. So as I was noticing that, Puncture just fit way better than potentially maybe having my Dawn Blade swing for 4 on the second attack, where this could usually always get 4 if I play it out at the right time. Route, you gotta have a route. This card is like a game winner. It's a turn 0 opponent frustrator. This card is amazing. Definitely, I don't think 2 is good. It costs too many resources. It is just a flub of a card if you get it into the wizard matchup. Yeah. But 1 of route, absolutely A+. This card is freaking incredible. Sigil of Solace, I think every Blitz deck should run a Sigil of Solace. I think every Blitz deck should run Sigil, other than maybe Kano and maybe Icelander. But the ability to gain 3 and just cross that threshold when so many decks are focusing on the 20 life threshold, especially Wizard, guys. Like, once they hit you to 14, their entire mindset changes. And if you have the ability to jump above that, like, that's a lot of power. Sync Belows, they're super not good into the Wizard matchup. But other than that, being able to pocket a D-React turn 0 if you're forced to go. Benji having a bunch of upclimb on this newest meta with Outsiders, I think it's imperative that you have D-Reacts. You just need them. If Benji, yeah, he's throwing out small numbers, but if he's doing that unhindered all game, you're gonna lose. Especially once he throws out Spring Tidings. Slice and Dice. This card is incredible. If we have any Kasai players, they probably know. It is a +4 for 0 over the course of 1 turn. It is in the red, it is a +1 on your first attack and a +3 on your second. In blue, it is a +1 and a +1. In blue, this is the best blue pump we have, other than second swing, but it pumps both your attacks, and it's like just being able to pump both attacks makes them both a little more threatening than just being able to pump the second attack, in my opinion. And you're more likely to leak a damage than instead of leaking no damage. And this card is just incredible. 4 for 0 is very above rate, especially when we are able to capitalize on what it's able to do so easily with our strategy. Spoils of War, another go again. It costs 1, gives +2, gives go again whenever a weapon hits this turn. Create 2 copper. An insane card in Kasai. An insane card for us too, because off this in a blue, we're swinging 7 and refunding our dynamos, so ultimately netting 8 whole points off a turn cycle. Great card. Blocks 3. All warrior cards are good. I don't know what to tell you. Steelblade Supremacy. Again, just an incredible specialization. +2 for the turn, and then whenever it hits, draw a card. This is +6 off a Twinning Blade and double go again. It's +4 off a basic strategy with 2 chances to draw cards. When you play one of these out, your opponent is most likely blocking both your swings. Stroke of Foresight, just one of those cards. Again, it's a target weapon gets +3 for 1. You just have to pay the resource. Has a reprise for card advantage, which is huge. Just any card advantage in a format or in a deck that tends to give you none is huge and can be a whole swing to a turn. This Stroke of Foresight, you can come in, it could put you they could be right at lethal. This reveals you the next attack react that then just kills them right there. Very good card. A lot of ability to have this card either do nothing or win you the game. It's Stroke of Force, that's a good card. Glistening Steelblade, freaking incredible. This card, I cannot wait for the day this card comes in foil, because I don't normally play with foiled decks, but Warrior is my favorite class ever, and Glistening Steelblade is the only card I cannot get in foil, and it makes me so sad. Someday, though. This card's incredible. Like I said before, it's building you counters on a weapon that is not losing them. So even if you know, you glistening steel blade, they take it all, and then they throw their big turn at you, and you block it out. Well, you're fine. Those counters are staying, and you're gonna start winning these cycles when you start doing four extra damage every turn. Now we have run through. Run through is just a blade runner in yellow that can target any sword, which makes it ideal for us because blade runners do only target one-handed weapons. Singing Steel Blade, I already gave you my dissertation on why this card is so good. It's just incredible. I think you should, you know, buy them while you can. They're only like 40 cents. Twinning Blade, a great card to capitalize on big Steel Blade supremacy turns. If you have enough 0 cost Go Again in your hand and a blue, you can make a Twinning Blade turn with a glint, a hit and run work where you're swinging 3 times and you don't even need to break Courage. Blade Flash, sword gets Go Again, it's a blue, it's generic, it's pretty good. I think you should just go for it, especially for its blue pitch. The 2-block sucks, but it's another card to give Go Again just in case you need it. Glint the Quicksilver, Go Again for 0, possible card draw. If you are able to line one of these up on like your Gore Belching turn, I would normally save this for your second swing, because your second swing is always going to be more powerful than your first, more likely to block, and more likely to actually net you that card draw. Or if you don't have your Gore Belching, but you are like searching for it, you can always glint on the second attack, hoping to draw it, and then play it as your third attack. Precision Press, a newer card out of Dynasty, just another non-conditional Go Again, gives us another thing in blue pitch, blocks 3. Great card. I wish it cost 0, but it doesn't. And then our Rouse the Ancients, our card solely put in here for its blue pitch and its ability to turn on Gore Belching. So yeah, that was the deck. Refraction Bolters never get played. It's just in there to fill space. So this has been Dorinthea, Quicksilver Prodigy, and the deck behind it. Let's go check over at our results here, because this is when it gets really interesting. I have played... Oh, okay, yeah. So this is my Gore Belching list. I have a 76% win rate with 62 matches. I forgot that I switched my result page when... I'll show you my Nourishing Emptiness result page here in a moment. So you can see a lot of what our issues are here in the red. These are our losses. Azalea has been on the up and up lately. Her ability to just send like a 14 damage dominate fucking Red in the Ledger turn 1 is pretty nuts. Fatigue Bravo is a real thing. It's pretty hard to deal with on our end since we have to play cards just to turn on our power, turn on our ability to, you know, actually make our hero work. Dromai. I don't know how I lost this Dromai match. I think I actually may have just quit. I think I had to go or something. I don't really lose to Dromai very often. They're focused so much around playing dragons, and with your 2 damage threshold, you like kill a dragon and then you swing at them for 3, and like you're just usually able to deal with it very easy. Icelander, always hard, because you can just get flubbed on an all red turn. They're sending, you know, Wounded Bowls, 3 Arcane, all the stuff from Arsenal every turn. Kano's always hard. This deck is definitely better into Kano than other warrior decks I've played, but Magic is still just so hard to deal with as a warrior. It's just, your deck is not made to play against Arcane. It's just not. It was not put in WTR to play against Arcane well. All right. So yeah. This is the deck. It has a great win rate. I am going to unfull screen really quick and then move to here. So moving over to my results from my Nourishing Emptiness list. This is the list that I've been playing for months before Outsiders came out. My results here, I have 425 matches played with an 83% win rate. I'm just proud of myself, guys. I love this deck to death. I have played so much Blitz. I have put so much time into figuring out my preferred way of playing it, the right way to like have the cards in my deck, the right spread of blues to yellows to attack reacts, what feels good, and I finally feel at my most best with the Gore Belching list. And I mean, as you can see, this win rate I've been playing into Talishar, even not on a list I thought was the most tuned it could be. Like, my win rates here are insane. But yeah, I don't really think there's so much to talk about with this list, mostly because we are now in Outsiders, and a lot of the data this is given to me, pretty much all the data that I got off this is a pre-Outsiders world. So like this is Zelia, 9 wins, 1 loss. I mean, this could easily be like 6-4 now. Benji, 20 wins over Benji. Maybe he'd have closer to like 8 wins now just with his package. We still have a really good game into him, but Icelander, she really took a beating after her bans and stuff. Rhinar, the most wins into Rhinar, 34-4. But yeah, mostly just wanted to show this deck off. I've been proud of it. I've been playing it for so long now. So thank you very much. We are going to go right into some gameplay that I recorded. And yeah, I hope you stick around and enjoy. We have our first game here. First, an Icelander, and I won the die roll. We're just going to take away all agency for them to do anything with that hero power of theirs going first. So we're going to go first. We're going to pack in the Null Rune. And I personally find it best to run the Courage here into the Icelander because you get the 2 block here. It can be 3 block on, like, if you really need it. And then it's going to net you 2 resources over a turn, which could be enough to save your life on an Icelander pop-off. I just believe it's the way to go. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're running our 40 here, which we've already talked about. Run that Gore Belching list. Most important part is the Gore Belcher, followed by the Blue Rouse. All right, let's do this. You're going down, Icelander! You're going down, Icelander! Ooh. Ooh. So we do have the ability to Steel Blade. I think we just go for it. I think we just let him have it. We're gonna pitch there. Screw it. Take our damage. Take 4. Block with 2 cards. The reason I like this play, ooh, all right. So yep, we are going to glint here because we know they're going to block. They're going to try to reduce damage. We're going to get the card draw effect off the glint. And then even if we decide to use the hit and run to pump our blade up to 8 on this next attack, we're still going to hit. We're going to get a card draw off this. We're going to have hit with the Dawn Blade right here. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. We're going to have dealt our damage. Oh my gosh, and we get a blue hit and run. Okay. I believe the best course is we just send that out there. And then we send the blade for 8. And now they block with the whole hand. Yep. That was good enough. And we will pass again. End the turn. And just stick this run through in there. Best to have as much blue power as we have going forward. Oh, this is what we want, guys. Oh, that's not fun. Okay, Coronet Peak. Unless this is a channel Mount Heroic, this isn't... or if they're trying to freeze our arsenal here, this isn't too bad. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to pass. Yeah, we're going to choose one and use our Sigil of Solace here. Not really getting us what we want at the moment. And they're not going to do too much else, having just played the Coronet Peak there. So yeah, we'll start with our Blade for 2. It will be channel. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. So this will cost us 3, and then we can still glint. So wait, so this costs us 3, because the ice, that. So that's this whole thing, and this costs us 2. That's fine, we'll do that. Alright. Alright, now we'll pass there. And then we will swing our weapon for 5. Crack back this fucking Icelander. Okay. We'll take 3 there. Threaten 5. Put that on the bottom. Put that into Arsenal. Oh! Oh! That's what I'm talking about. Even if we got to pitch a bunch to prevent Arcane here. Yeah. Yes, we will pay. Oh, and they pitched just a normal blue. We'll do that. So we do get a bit of agency. Okay. All right, we do get a bit of agency here with the slice and dice. Like, yeah, if we do play this out right away, it is worth 4. But if we play it out on the second attack, it's worth 3. So we do lose 1, and we ultimately, if they have like another channel here or something, we're not playing into that, and we're not just gonna lose our card value so long as, you know, we don't get screwed like that. So yeah, I am gonna go for that. Into games like Icelander, I do like to just play like this. Oh, that's fine. They're gonna freeze our arsenal. Perfect. 0. Fuck that, I don't care. And we'll take that here. So we'll swing 2. We'll make them have to block inefficiently. That's always fun. Cool, and we'll send that. See, and this is exactly why we just did what we did, right? Now I have enough to actually play this, to actually swing for 5. We didn't just waste our card value on a slice and dice here. And now we're threatening a lot more damage. Ooh, and they finally get rid of the peak. Okay, heck yeah. And we still have our Gore Belching here to just, like, send a ton of damage. That's 7 no matter what, as long as we don't draw Rouse. Okay, this is the kind of hand we're looking for. So this is going to allow us to, like, really spread our turn wide. So honestly, so long as they don't have a freaking channel right here, this is a game-winning turn. So don't lead. This is like a turn we're gonna pop courage, but we're not gonna lead with courage, because we're gonna have. Because if we get channeled right here, that's gonna screw us over completely. Okay, it's just a scolding. Oh, we just let this hit. Yeah, that's fine. 0. Screw it. You can have it, dude. I'm gonna do so much damage on this turn. I don't even care. Break the courage. Now that we're not really worried about ice anymore, we're worried about one more thing of ice. Because the Storm Striders are wizard only. So at worst, it'll be an ice wizard attack that will give us a frostbite. So by popping the courage here, we are giving ourselves room to also prevent arcane. So we're going to swing here. Yeah, I bet they're sweating. They don't know what we got. We're swinging 5. Our next attack's going to be swinging 6 and or 8 with this hit and run, and we're going to end on a 7. I think the games might just be over after this. Because this is a 20 damage turn against their 10. 3 cards left to block. All right. Math, guys. Math is real. They do have a little bit of agency here with the Storm Striders. Not enough to kill me, enough to maybe like think about a possible turn here. There's no way they expect the Gore Belching out of Arsenal. You know, the only way this turn would have been stopped at this point is a Channel Lake Frigid, and we would have seen that at Arsenal already. No way they're going to pull it out with the Storm Striders. I did not realize it was my turn to make a decision there. Oh, we are going to Storm Striders. Let's go. And see, they're already taking 5. Okay. Yeah, they can't deal 10 here. Even with the moon, they would have to deal 7. That would have to be... One of these would have to be a red Emeritus and the waning moon, and they just don't... They have enough resources to deal 9. 10 with the node. And then I have 2 left to stop the damage. And they're going to have to block right here and they die. So, you know. I do love when people have the chance to like think things through and like really see if they can like tackle a problem from different angles. But it's like at the same time, I do want to just message my opponent, I'm gonna Gore belching you right after this. GG. Like, I don't know what else. you lost. It is unfortunate. Time to block. Gonna try to make sure they keep an arsenal, thinking this is it. They might block with the last card, thinking that I have an attack reaction, which I do not. But then you're just like, oh, go, Gore belching, GG. All right, and that was game 1 of our Gore belching Dorinthea Quicksilver Prodigy. This is exactly the kind of stuff you want to see, and exactly the kind of stuff that is possible on a list like this. You know, look how easily that was for us to line up. You know, we had the blue, we had a hit and run, we had our first source of go again, allowing that second hit and run, or the first hit and run that is, to really like push over its threshold to both like give go again, give us the damage, and allow us to end on it on a Gore belching for 0 that came in for 7. That's insane. You know, some things to take note of though, where this turn was amazing. This was a 20 damage warrior turn out of nowhere. That's incredible. Like, that stuff doesn't really happen in warrior. This turn could have easily been flubbed had we drawn Rouse the Ancients. We would have missed 7 damage having drawn 1 card. So there is a bit of there's that balance to like how good Gore belching is. Like, the card is amazing. They're like hands down freaking awesome with how this deck runs, especially since it's our only attack action other than the Rouse. But it's just incredible. I love this deck. I think Gore belching is the way to go. And game, we are playing against Azuri, our boy HCCRR. We're going to run this one pretty close to how we run most of our matchups. The Providence, Courage, Brave Forge Bracers, Valiant Dynamo. You as well. Awesome. All right. Pretty sure we can just get into this. Azuri is an interesting one. We have a lot of agency usually to kind of just like block with 2 cards, continue our game, our strategy of send 2, then 3, get the 1 back on Dynamo, so we're getting 6 back on these turn cycles. Starting this game, so we do have our Rouse the Ancients here, so this is good. We know this is going to go to the bottom, so we need to get rid of this now. They could have a lot of 2 blocks in their hand. So, yeah, I think we're gonna try for surprise damage with the Iron Song and save the Slice and Dice. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Swing the blade. Hopefully they only block with 1 card here, so we can send the Iron Song over to hit for some damage. Oh, or they just don't block at all. I want to take 2. That's cool. Yeah, so we'll pump with the Brave Forge here, and then we'll send 4. There could have been an argument here to also... oh, okay. They really like their hand. Okay. Oh, see? All right, this is good. Now we're actually going to leak a little bit of damage with this extra 3 here and be able to pocket the Slice and Dice. Slice and Dice is so fundamentally powerful with how we want to run our deck. Oh, then you get something like that. Okay. Reactions. That's gross. We're kind of chock full of reactions here. We really want to use this Sink Below to net ourselves a blue. And with that, they could come in with a CNC and kill our Slice and Dice here. All right, we're just going to accept it. We're accepting the Nerve Scalpel. It sucks, but it's the way it is. Orbital Class, non-attacks. That's also fine, because we're not going to block many non-attacks. You can just keep sending your 1s here, buddy. Ooh, Dominate. Dominate. This does kind of suck, right? Because I could be leave no witness, in which case, you know, we block with the dynamo here. We could still block with 4. Yeah, we're gonna hope. It does suck, but oh, come on, don't be a CNC. It's a humble. We lose our hero ability. That sucks. Okay. Okay. In this case, we are going to send the sink below then. I wasn't expecting a humble, but glad they don't have an arsenal to come back at us here. So we are going to put the in the swing to the bottom. That's just kind of worthless for us at this point, and we're going to pass. We'll keep spoils here because we can use this on our follow-up turn, and now since our hero power's turned off with the humble, we'll just send 2 and potentially turn it into +3 or +4 if they block with their equipment here with the puncture, because it has piercing 1. Yep, see, they block with equipment, and we're just going to give them a quick punish for having thought that was a good idea. And welcome to Warrior. Ooh, glistening steel blade. That's always fun. Okay. I think we're just gonna accept a bunch of this here. If you really want to like send everything you got at us, buddy, like you can go ahead. It does suck to have the sigil here because I think I normally would be blocking with 2 cards. Get a blood rot. We're at a point too, like 11 life, we have a life lead. We're going to be, if we send the spoils and the slice and dice next turn, we're going to be dealing 11, 5 on the first attack, 6 on the second. So that's just really good for us. But we can also build to like a bigger end game with the glistening. That would also be good. Because we could just lose our arsenal here. I kind of would rather force the okay, yeah, we're gonna block, and we're gonna hope it's not a CNC. We haven't seen it yet, so it's very likely it could be. Oh, it's a race face. Okay. Cards and tokens they own lose all class and talent types. I don't think that affects me. All class and talent types. Okay, yeah, that would suck if that was like an amnesia or like another humble, but that's not too bad right here. We'll pass. We'll pocket the sigil because it's always good to have your opponent thinking you have something even if you don't. That's why like sigil is just like a great overall card. It's a great hedge into wizards. It is a great just arsenal target, especially like we'll pocket it. They'll try to like CNC us, and then we'll just boom, sigil, and all of a sudden we block 3, gain 3. We net no damage here, and the target they go for, like trying to hold back their cards to actually get there, we just kind of pulled all that away from them. See, and we're seeing an over block here because they don't know how to respect the additional damage that we could have in our hand. So we essentially knock out damage that or life they're never going to get back with that Redback Shroud. Just more on hits that don't get stopped. Oh, that's me. I gotta say, instants are really annoying in this game for Talishar because you got to play around it with so much. Oh, are you going to give it to me? Oh, no way. No way you're giving me counter. Oh, you gave me counter. Oh, you crazy. Crazy. We'll arsenal that. Infect for 1. We'll pass. We'll send out the block we know we got. And maybe... because they're at 9. Even if they send us something big. I'm going to use the courage here. Just because I know they're going to send something. And I'd rather we have a bit of a block. Just kind of mitigate damage. And I'll also be able to actually use the courage when I want now. Instead of having to play around it. Because with attacking twice here, I'm going to... okay. Redback Shroud. Interesting. Spreading Plague. Okay. You got me. I got Blood Rot. Shit. The card that was banished. Oh, you switched it with erratic. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, and only got one. All right. Yeah, they may want to use that skull cap block, so we are going to just push this here. Sorry about the noise. People are working on my house. I'm gonna push that there. This will give us piercing 1 if they block with an equipment, so it'll just invalidate the skull cap block. They can just use it on their next attack, but hey, they may not. And then with how we've positioned ourselves now, we're going to be able to sigil at the end of our turn. We're going to hit and run for some additional damage here. Perfect. So we're going to send 2 more. So it's going to be for 6. Awesome. 6 is way better than 4. If anyone's never told you that, they're lying. Or if they've ever disagreed with that. We're going to gain our 3 life here, go to 14. Ooh, and they're going to remember it. So we know nothing is coming on. I don't know why they wouldn't just like send 3 and like maybe try to have me wait to see how I block. Maybe I'll just throw like 6 in front of something. No action. We're waiting for triggers. That's fine. No. Arsenal. Oh, baby. Oh, this is why we blocked with courage. Because we have insanity that we are able to do now. Oh, we're sending 4? Oh, we sending 4? Okay, hold up. Oh, yeah, I went to 10 from the blood rots. Do we really care about this? I think we're just going to block like so. And continue to have the upper hand here. We just have the better blocks. We have our dynamo that's continuously turning on. So we're going to play the Steel Blade Supremacy. So our attacks are coming in for 5 now. Just an annoying break point. They can't stop it anymore with equipment. So it has to be 2 cards, or it has to be Flick Knives and a D-React for 4. We'll send the hit and run out. We don't actually need to use courage here, because of our how we spread everything. Because we'll draw a card if we hit, and then we can also. Man, no, because they could have just not blocked here. Yeah, this is the way to do it. We're not going to use a card yet. Oh, I have a frailty. That's right. Sure, we don't need to use because we'll draw a card. That's fine. Slice and dice. Okay, we hit. So we can give +1. I think we're just gonna... Ooh. I want to try to go for a win here. I just want to rip as many cards out of their hand as I can. Coming for 8 that we can turn into 12. So they have to... Yeah, they have to block with so many things just to live. And then we'll grab the in the swing, play the in the swing, pass, and that's GG. That's the way you do it with Dorinthea Quicksilver Prodigy. Azuri's also one of those heroes that is very good for us to play into. We just kind of have a natural ability to constantly be building defenses, sending at least 6 on each cycle, 2 with the first attack, 3 with the second, and then netting our dynamo counter back every cycle. And we can do that off 2 cards. We can do that off a single card with a hit and run and our Courage of Blade hold. So, sometimes we're able to block 12, have that in arsenal, and then send it. So yeah, that was it for Azuri. Let's move on to whatever the next game is. So going into game 3 here, a Prism. This one is always fun. It's always up in the air though where we want to do this. I like going second, but I also like going first. We're gonna go first. Yo, GLHF. All right, so Prism. Prism is just one of those heroes, man, where you can have a really good game into them so long as they don't just slam auras every single turn from turn 1 and on. So that's ultimately what this is going to come down to. Blade Break, good luck to you, my friend. We're going to run pretty much the same things we always run. The Crown, the Courage, the Brave Forge, and the Dynamo. Run with the same deck because it's Blitz. Let's freaking go. Okay. Okay. This is really going to come down to how they block, right? Over anything. Okay. I was kind of hoping to get like a singing steel blade, maybe just a route to start the game with. They start with they have Goliath Gauntlet. That's kind of good for us. Phantasmal Footsteps. Okay. Yeah. I think I just want to lead like so. We're gonna pitch the twinning because the twinning is gonna be kind of hard to get off. We're gonna hope that they don't really like throw out any cards here. Okay. Maybe throw out 2 cards then. If you're going to throw out any cards, throw out 2 cards. That's fine. We're going to glint. We're going to get our card draw. So the fact that they blocked with 2 cards, I am no longer scared that this will be an aura that they're going to slam turn 1. Because all their auras cost 4. They do not, with the 2 cards left, with the card it costs, they only have 3 max. So this is good for us. Let's go ahead and send another 3. And if they only block with 1 card here, well, we're going to leak 3 damage. This is perfect. Oh, we're going to leak 4 damage maybe, unless they have a D-react. They could though. There's a lot of styles of Prism and Blitz. This could be more the just Herald beatdown aggro. We're going to pocket the hit and run. Keep the precision press for resource generation. Oh, man. Okay, so we have a pretty gnarly turn here. Okay, ooh, going for a Merciful. Okay, that's pretty good. Merciful gonna swing. That's fine. We have our Dynamo here to just absorb that. Ooh, and a Pierce Reality. That's rough. That is rough. Okay, but we don't have Arsenal here on the Prism. So this is actually pretty decent for us, right? So the only thing that's gonna suck is if we go to play the Steel Blade and they respond with an Arclight Sentinel. We're at a point too where we want to keep our Dynamo going. We want to just keep this momentum moving forward. You know, they have 4 cards in hand. We have a 4 gain on our life. Oh, but do we want to take the Steel Blade approach? Because there's no way they block with... They might block with the card and Crown. And then we can like sneak over with the glint, draw a card. Alright, we're going for it. Screw it. If you have Arclight, send it, dude. Oh, they don't. We're just attacking Prism. Cool, this is good. Oh, send in... Oh, blocking 9. Interesting. This could be a case of them not really... knowing that this is not the Dorinthea they're used to, but we did, oh, this is best case. This is best case scenario, guys. All right, here we go. We're going to play this hit and run from our arsenal. We're going to send this at the Prism, coming in for 6. Here it is. Let's go. All right, passing. That is so good. That is so... And then we're sending Gore Belching at the Prism. Okay, this game seems pretty... It's not over by any means, but, like, we have taken quite a lead on our turns here. It's going to be very hard for this Prism to come back. Yes, they do have 2 auras set up, and it will be very hard to start attacking those now. So those are pretty much going to stay on the board the rest of this game. But... we're going to gain 3 life here. We're going to pocket this Iron Song. I'm going to be able to get rid of it with Crown, maybe come in with a 5-card hand. Ooh, defense step. That's fine. Okay, so they're just going to come in for 1 this next turn. No reactions. Nope. Taking 3. We'll Sigil, and then we'll Arsenal this. That's a pretty big turn. Fellers, pretty big turn. So we come to a decision here, right? We are winning. We're just winning. It's likely that we continue to just maintain this tempo. We don't have a blue in hand. We have the ability to cycle this Iron Song. It almost seems better for the damage because they still have Arclight Sentinel, which would just suck. Yeah, we're going to cycle it. We're going to cycle it. I'd rather try to guarantee the win now when we still have roughly 7 cycles of cards left here before we need to like really worry about what they do. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this. Okay, glistening. This is very unimportant at this point. Like, we're already so far ahead that like this just doesn't really do anything. And we have the ability to attack, react, with and get go again, but it's completely dependent on if they block. I do not really like what we have going on here. All right, we're just gonna go for glistening. Screw it. We're gonna punish them hard if they choose to continue to not. If they choose to not block here, we're gonna punish them hard. If they choose to overblock, well, it's just gonna continuously. We're gonna keep going on the same road we're on, right? Yeah, we're gonna make it 6. We're gonna pitch the sink, send it at the prism. So now they have to block with 2 cards just to stop it, or oh, you throwing the tunic out too? Sweet. We're just gonna get a okay. It's really hard at this point for me to think that they can come back. Okay, yeah, that was a good game. This is exactly what happens between Prism and this Dorinthea nowadays. Prism will either go insane and she will just get all her auras, she'll line them all up, and she'll just win. Or Dorinthea will do some nonsense like this. And you might be playing into a Herald Prism, you might just be able to get like a Steelblade Supremacy, a Glistening Steelblade out early, and then you just start overwhelming them with value at their face every turn, that even their little pings of damage ultimately don't do as much because they're not able to pitch yellows to soul because they're not hitting with Heralds, and they're not able to build soul shields off that and give all their auras go again. So this was a good example of that. These were just the first 3 games I played, trying to get some footage for this. I was not only showing my 3 wins, but that was all I was planning to do. So thank you very much for watching. This has been the Dorinthea Quicksilver Prodigy new best warrior deck. Obviously, it is. It is just the best warrior deck there is. And if you need to remember why, just go listen to the early parts of this video. Until next time, this has been Fab Foundry. Go check out Fab Foundry singles on the Fab Foundry storefront. And yeah, until next time. Later.